Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. If this is your first time here, welcome. If it's your third time here, then thanks for coming back 3 times. But today, what I wanted to talk about, and if you're viewing this on a later date or tomorrow, it's probably called Keith Condensed. So feel free to join up on the live stream if you have any questions, if you have anything you would like me to look at. I pretty much go live 6 days a week, and the schedule seems to always be changing. Anyways, what I wanted to talk about today, the article that I wanted to talk about today was an article written, well, it was posted to fortune.com, and it was specifically about cannabis in Canada. It was written by Lucinda Shin on June 7th, so just earlier this morning. The title of it is Canada is set to legalize recreational weed today. Here's why marijuana stock investors aren't cheering. Let's go ahead and just jump over and take a look. Anyways, so on here, what the article is basically talking about, it's kind of funny because she alludes to, like, first of all, the emotions of the weed smokers might be hitting new highs. I was like, wow, no pun intended, right? But basically what she was alluding to is that stocks, most of the big company cannabis stocks, for instance, like Canopy Growth, Aurora Cannabis, Medical Relief, and Afaria, and then also GW, which is on trade, GW Pharmaceutical, which is traded on the NASDAQ. All of them dropped about 3 to 4% today. And so what she was getting into throughout the article was that the North American marijuana cannabis index is basically up 150% over the last year, which compared to the S&P 500, which is only up 14%, that's like crazy growth. And what they were getting at in this article was that maybe because Canada's legalization is today, the market has already adjusted to the recreational release or rollout in Canada. And by all means, I think that brings up a valid point, because like she was getting to 150% compared to the S&P 500, the average only doing 14%. That's literally 100% increase over the S&P 500. And so what she was getting at is that it's probably the reason why it's a bad day for most cannabis investors or stockholders or whatever it may be is because the market has been like, oh, Canada is going to legalize, like there's big news that could be surrounding this. And so a lot of us young, dumb investors, I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm classified as a young, dumb, but I'm not a big banking financial institution here, has basically thrown all their money in it because, hey, the good news is going to come out. The good news is going to come out. And we've already may have known the news. Like, people have been known for a while that there's a very, very high probability that this will get passed in Canada. And so there's basically no risk from what this article is suggesting. They said also that in 8 to 12 weeks, the rollout should be available. Most Canadians have been expecting the rollout to be July 1st, is what she was getting at, Canada Day. However, she was saying also in alluding to here that some government officials have basically said that there's probably going to be a delay with the rollout and so on and so forth. So probably about 8 to 12 more weeks. My thoughts on this, guys, is I personally, even though I think that there has been a overinflation in the cannabis, with cannabis stocks especially, I don't believe that they're necessarily like already allocated the risk in the actual price. Like, I think that tomorrow we wake up and cannabis is legal up in Canada. I don't think that risk had already been like associated to the actual stock. So I do think that there should be a rise in price. That's my personal opinion. Don't go bet on that right there, please. I personally don't know, and I cannot predict the future. So I'm just going off of my own personal thoughts. However, I think that the market did correct today because they realized, hey, you know what? We've overbought this stock or overbought this sector. And quite frankly, what if it does not pass? And I think that there was the correction. It's typically like going into a earnings call and people are like, yeah, this stock's going to have good earnings call. And they're like, oh crap, like we actually bought way more than what we over risked buying this stock. And so now the day before the earnings call, there's a little bit of a pullback. So I think that the market's just reacting very, very similar to that. Anyways, those are my thoughts. Feel free to let me know what you think. By the time that this video rolls out, it'll probably be old news because we'll know by then. But I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions specifically. Maybe that's why we see pullbacks on earnings calls as well, and other big news and voting that happens within the government, either the United States or Canada. Anyways, guys, it has been real. Thank you for watching. Look forward to seeing you on the live stream where you can win half an ounce of silver. Anyways, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.